I never told my brother what I found in his wife's phone at my parents' anniversary dinner. Not until the baby shower 6 months later, when everything finally broke open. My name is Elena Vargas. I am 31 years old, and I work as a pediatric nurse in San Antonio, Texas. I have one brother, Miguel, who is 2 years older than me. We grew up sharing a bedroom in my grandmother's house until I was 12. He taught me to ride a bike. I taught him to dance for his quinceañera. Our mother, Rosa, still keeps our childhood drawings in a box under her bed. Miguel married a woman named Vanessa Cruz 3 years ago. She was beautiful in a way that made people nervous. Perfect makeup. Perfect stories. Perfect timing. I was the maid of honor at their wedding. I gave a speech about how family protects each other. I meant every word. I did not know then that I would spend 18 months preparing to destroy her. Before I tell you what happened at that shower, leave a comment that says family. If you believe blood means watching out for each other, even when it hurts. There is a particular kind of warmth in a Mexican family kitchen on Sunday afternoon. It is not just the heat from the stove. It is the voices overlapping, the children running between legs, the abuelas correcting everyone. I have spent 31 years learning to hear the difference between laughter that is real and laughter that is performing. The sounds are not the same. My family is large and loud and close. My father, Carlos, fixes cars. My mother, Rosa, cleans houses for wealthy families in Alamo Heights. They worked 6 days a week for 30 years to give Miguel and me what they never had. Miguel became an electrician. He owns a small business now for employees, steady contracts. He met Vanessa at a church fundraiser in 2021. She was 29, a dental hygienist, recently moved from Houston. She told stories about her big family there, her important connections, her plans for the future. She made Miguel feel like he was catching someone who might otherwise get away. I watched her at that first dinner. She laughed at all the right moments. She asked my mother about her recipes. She was already practicing being one of us. Miguel was a good brother. I want to say that plainly because everything that follows gets complicated. He was the kind of man who checked my car tires without being asked, who remembered my coffee order, who drove 3 hours to help me move apartments twice. When our father had his heart attack in 2019, Miguel slept in the hospital chair for 5 nights so I could keep working. He never asked for anything back. He just showed up. I thought Vanessa saw that in him. I thought she understood what she was getting. The wedding was in March 2022, at a venue outside the city. 200 guests. Vanessa planned everything with military precision. The colors were blush and gold. The flowers were imported. The cake had 5 tiers. My mother cried when they danced. I cried too, because I wanted Miguel to be happy, and Vanessa seemed to make him believe he deserved everything she was showing him. For the first year, I told myself I was being protective for no reason. Vanessa was polite to me. She remembered my birthday. She asked about my work at the hospital. She was trying, I thought. I was wrong about what she was trying to do. The trouble started in January 2024. Miguel called me on a Tuesday night. His voice was flat in a way that told me he had been rehearsing. "Lena," he said, "Vanessa thinks we should try for a baby." I told him that was wonderful news. I meant it. I wanted to be an aunt. I wanted my mother to have grandchildren. But something in his voice was not excited. It was careful. "She says we need to be intentional," he said. "Plan everything. Financially, emotionally. She wants to make sure we're ready." That sounded reasonable. It sounded like the Vanessa I knew, organized and prepared. But Miguel was not organized. Miguel was the kind of person who decided to fix a motorcycle on Saturday morning and had it running by dinner. This careful version of him felt borrowed. Over the next months, Vanessa controlled the timeline. Doctor appointments, vitamin schedules, intimacy calendars. Miguel joked about it sometimes, but the jokes got quieter. Then in April, Vanessa announced she was pregnant. The family exploded with joy. My mother started knitting immediately. My father talked about college funds. I bought a stuffed elephant and cried in the parking lot. I was happy for them. I was. The phone was an accident. My parents' 40th anniversary dinner was at a restaurant on the River Walk. Vanessa went to the bathroom. She left her phone on the table. It buzzed. Miguel was talking to my father about a job bid. I glanced at the screen. The message preview showed a name I did not recognize. Dr. Hartley. The text said, "Same time Thursday? The usual place. Don't forget the results." I looked away quickly, but something about it stayed with me. Medical appointments, I told myself. Pregnancy monitoring. But she had a different doctor for the pregnancy. I knew because I had recommended him. Dr. Morales, 2 floors up from my unit. Why would she be seeing another doctor secretly? I did not ask. I told myself I was being suspicious for no reason. But I also started paying attention. I started watching. Not obviously. Just more carefully. The way Vanessa touched her phone when Miguel walked into the room. The way she angled the screen away. The way she took calls in the car, alone, with the radio suddenly loud. I told myself I was protecting my brother. I told myself I was imagining things. I was half right. In May, I found the real evidence. Vanessa asked me to help her move some boxes from her old storage unit. She was 8 weeks pregnant and did not want to lift. I said yes immediately. The unit was in a complex near the medical center, not far from where I worked. While she was organizing in the back, I saw a folder on top of a box. It was labeled with her maiden name, not her married name. I should not have looked. I know I should not have looked. But I thought about that text message. I thought about the careful way she guarded her phone. I opened the folder. Inside were medical records. Not from Dr. Morales. From a fertility clinic. Dates going back 14 months. Treatments. Tests. Costs. And at the bottom, a letter dated 3 weeks before she announced the pregnancy. Dear Ms. Cruz, we are pleased to confirm successful implantation from donor specimen number 4479. Estimated conception date. March 15, 2024. I read it 3 times. The math was simple. Miguel had been traveling for work in mid-March. A week-long job in Dallas. Vanessa had been alone. I put the folder back exactly as I found it. My hands were shaking, but my face was calm. Vanessa came back and talked about nursery colors. I agreed that yellow was neutral and happy. I drove home that evening and sat in my car in the parking lot of my apartment building for an hour. I thought about calling Miguel. I thought about telling my mother. I thought about confronting Vanessa directly. I did none of those things. Because I also found something else in that folder. A second letter. Dated 2 weeks before the fertility confirmation. From a law firm. Regarding your consultation on asset protection and single-parent custody rights. Vanessa had been planning. Not just for a baby. For a baby without my brother. For a future where she would be the mother, and Miguel would be the ex-husband paying support. I called an attorney the next morning. Her name was Patricia Okonkwo. She had helped a colleague of mine with a custody dispute. I told her I had found evidence that my sister-in-law was deceiving my brother about paternity. I asked what I should do. She asked what I wanted to happen. I said I wanted to protect my brother without destroying him. She said that might not be possible. I said I would find a way. Patricia explained my options. I could tell Miguel immediately. Risk that he would not believe me. Risk that Vanessa would spin it as jealousy, as interference, as a sister who could not let go. I could confront Vanessa. Risk that she would destroy the evidence, change her story, turn Miguel against me before I could prove anything. Or I could wait. Document. Prepare. Build a case so solid that when the truth came out, it would be undeniable. I chose to wait. Not because I was patient. Because I loved my brother enough to be strategic instead of impulsive. I started a notebook. Dark green, from the same drugstore where I bought my scrubs. I dated the first entry May 3, 2024. I wrote, fertility clinic records confirm donor conception. Miguel out of town March 15. Legal consultation shows intent to establish single-parent custody. Planning observed. Must verify donor identity and timeline. I did not know how long I would wait. I only knew that Vanessa was planning a baby shower, and I intended to be there when everything she built collapsed. The summer of 2024 was a study in pretending. Vanessa grew more radiant as the pregnancy advanced. She posted ultrasound photos. She started a registry at an expensive baby store. She asked me to help plan the shower. I said yes. I said yes to everything. I attended her doctor appointments with Miguel. I felt the baby kick. I smiled when she talked about names. Inside, I was documenting every contradiction. The due date she gave the family did not match the fertility clinic dates. The story she told about conceiving naturally did not match the medical records I had photographed with my phone that day in the storage unit. I saved screenshots of her social media posts. I recorded dates. I cross-referenced Miguel's work travel calendar with the clinic timeline. In July, I hired a private investigator. His name was Thomas Webb. He was expensive and thorough. I gave him the clinic name and the donor number. I asked him to find out who specimen number 4479 belonged to. I asked him to find out if Vanessa had a relationship with that person. I asked him to do it without anyone knowing I had asked. Thomas found the answer in August. The donor was not anonymous. That was the first surprise. Vanessa had paid extra for a directed donation program where she could select specific characteristics. The second surprise was bigger. The donor was not a stranger. He was a man named David Hartley. Dr. David Hartley. The same name from the text message I had seen in April. He was a cardiologist at the same hospital where I worked. I knew him by sight. Tall. Married. 2 older children. I had seen him in the cafeteria, in the parking garage, in the elevator. He was the head of department. He was respected. He was also, according to Thomas's investigation, having an affair with Vanessa for 18 months before the pregnancy. They had planned this together. The fertility clinic visits. The carefully timed conception. The legal preparation for custody. Dr. Hartley had even referred Vanessa to the law firm handling her asset protection. They were building a future with my brother's money and another man's child. I sat with this information for 3 days. Then I called Patricia. I told her I needed to know what happened at the baby shower. I needed to be ready. The shower was planned for October. Vanessa wanted it early, before she was too uncomfortable. She chose a venue in the Pearl District, an old brewery converted to event space. Expensive. Trendy. Instagram perfect. She asked me to be the co-host with her sister from Houston. I agreed. For 6 months, I helped her plan. The invitations. The decorations. The games. The cake. You smiled at her choices. I complimented her taste. I watched her build the stage where she would be celebrated as the perfect mother-to-be. All the while, I was preparing my own contribution. I did not tell Miguel. I did not tell my parents. I told only Patricia and Thomas. We rehearsed what I would do. The goal was not to embarrass Miguel. The goal was to expose Vanessa in a way that left her no room to manipulate or deny. The shower would have 40 guests. Family from both sides. Church friends. Work colleagues. Miguel's business partners. Vanessa had invited Dr. Hartley's wife. I saw the name on the list and understood. She wanted him there, hidden in plain sight, watching his child be celebrated as another man's. That was when I knew exactly what I had to do. The morning of the shower, I woke up at 5. I had not slept well. I dressed carefully. A navy dress, professional but not formal. Flat shoes. Small purse. Inside the purse was a folder. Thomas had prepared it. Photographs. Phone records. Clinic receipts. The legal consultation letter. Everything in chronological order. Everything with sources. Everything undeniable. I also had my phone. Recorded. Ready. Patricia had advised me. In Texas, single-party recording was legal. I wanted a record of what would be said. I wanted Vanessa's first reactions captured before she could rehearse them. I arrived at the venue early. Vanessa was already there, directing the setup. She looked beautiful. 7 months pregnant, glowing, surrounded by pink and gold balloons. She hugged me. She thanked me for everything. She said she could not have done this without me. I hugged her back. I said I was happy to help. I meant something different than she thought. The guests arrived. My mother, in her best dress. My father, uncomfortable in his suit. Miguel, proud and nervous, taking photos of everything. Dr. Hartley's wife arrived alone. Her husband was working, she said. Vanessa smiled at her with special warmth. The shower followed its script. Games where guests guessed the baby's weight. A memory book where people wrote advice. The opening of gifts, mountains of pink boxes and bags. Vanessa was gracious and funny and perfectly in control. She thanked everyone. She mentioned Miguel's support. She talked about becoming a mother, as if it were a solo achievement she was generously allowing him to witness. I watched Miguel watching her. He was happy. He was already in love with the child he believed was his. That was the part that hurt most. Not Vanessa's betrayal. My brother's innocence. The cake was wheeled out. 5 tiers like the wedding. Vanilla with strawberry filling. Vanessa stood to cut it, pulling Miguel up with her. She made a speech about love and family, and the future they were building. She looked directly at Dr. Hartley's wife when she said the family we choose. I understood then. She was not just deceiving us. She was performing for him. For them. This was their shared secret, hidden inside our public celebration. I waited for her to finish. Then I stood up. Vanessa, I said. My voice was clear. The room went quiet. Not empty quiet. Waiting quiet. Before we finish, I have something I want to share. As family. She looked at me. Her smile was still in place, but her eyes had changed. She was calculating. Of course, Lena, she said. But maybe after we cut the cake? Now, I said. While everyone is together. It's about family history. Medical history. The kind of thing a pediatric nurse thinks about. I walked to the gift table. I picked up my purse. I felt Miguel's eyes on me. I felt my mother's confusion. I felt the weight of every guest's attention. I was helping Vanessa organize some medical records, I said, for the baby's file. And I found something confusing. Dates that didn't match. Doctors I didn't recognize. So I looked deeper. I found records from a fertility clinic. From March, when Miguel was in Dallas. I pulled out the folder. The baby was conceived through donor insemination. Specimen number 4479. The donor is not anonymous. His name is in these records. He works at my hospital. He is married. And he has been having an affair with Vanessa for over a year. The room held its breath. I had never heard silence like that. 40 people frozen. Vanessa's face went through stages I will never forget. Shock. Calculation. Then something harder. This is insane, she said. Her voice was loud, too loud. Lena has always been jealous of me. Of my relationship with Miguel. This is some kind of sick fantasy. She turned to Miguel. Baby, you know me. You know us. This is crazy. Miguel was not looking at her. He was looking at me. His face was empty. I had seen that emptiness once before, when our father had his heart attack and Miguel thought he was dead. The records are here, I said. Dates, receipts, correspondence. I also have phone records. Meetings at a hotel near the medical center. The same hotel where Dr. Hartley holds his department meetings. I looked at Dr. Hartley's wife. She was standing now, her hand on her chest. I'm sorry, I said to her. I didn't know you would be here. But you deserve to know too. Your husband and my sister-in-law planned this pregnancy together. They have been planning it for over a year. Dr. Hartley's wife made a sound. Not words. Just breath and pain. She walked out. No one stopped her. Vanessa tried again. Miguel, listen to me. This is not. Is it true? Miguel said. His voice was quiet. It was the voice he used when he was most dangerous. Is the baby mine? Vanessa's mouth opened. Nothing came out. She looked around the room. She saw her own sister's face, horrified. She saw my mother's tears. She saw that no one was coming to save her. Miguel, she whispered. I can explain. Is it true? He said again. I had never heard him like that. All his life, Miguel had been the peacemaker. The fixer. The one who made things okay. That voice was gone. Vanessa crumbled. Not dramatically. Just slowly. She sat down on the chair behind her. She put her hands on her stomach. The gesture was automatic, protective. But of what? The baby? Herself? The plan? No, she said. The baby is not yours. But I love you. I wanted to be with you. David wouldn't leave his wife. This was the only way I could. She stopped. She had said the name. She had confirmed everything. Miguel walked out. He did not run. He did not shout. He just walked. Past the cake. Past the balloons. Past his own mother, who reached for him and missed. I followed him. I was the only one who did. I found him in the parking lot, sitting in his truck, staring at the steering wheel. I got in the passenger side. We sat there for 10 minutes. Neither of us spoke. Then he said, "How long did you know?" "May," I said. "I found the records in May." "And you waited?" "I needed to be sure. I needed to have proof. I needed to do it in a way where she couldn't make me the crazy sister. Where you would see it yourself." He nodded. Slowly. "You should have told me." "I know. But you would have believed her. You would have asked her. And she would have destroyed the evidence and turned you against me. I couldn't risk that. I couldn't risk you being alone with this, thinking you were crazy, thinking I was against you." He looked at me. His eyes were dry. That was worse than tears. "Is it really his?" "The doctor?" "Yes. They planned it. The legal consultation. The asset protection. She was preparing to leave you with the baby and the support payments. He would be the real father hidden. You would be the wallet." Miguel started the truck. He drove to our parents' house. I followed in my car. We sat in the kitchen, the three of us, while my mother cried and my father cursed in Spanish and English, mixing them the way he did when he was most angry. Miguel was quiet. He answered questions when asked. Yes, he had signed the birth certificate paperwork already. Yes, his name would be on it. Yes, he was legally the father unless he contested it. Patricia had prepared me for this. I called her from the bathroom. She said Miguel needed to file a denial of paternity before the birth. He needed to request genetic testing. He needed to act fast, because every day of delay would strengthen Vanessa's position. I came back and told him. He listened. He asked if I would help him. I said yes. Of course yes. Always yes. My mother asked about the baby. The actual baby, growing inside Vanessa. What would happen to her? What would she be told? No one knew. That was the true cruelty of Vanessa's plan. She had created a child as a weapon. That child would grow up in the wreckage. The legal process was faster than I expected. Miguel filed the denial of paternity. He requested the test. Vanessa fought it at first, then stopped fighting when her own attorney explained that the fertility clinic records were admissible evidence. The test confirmed what we knew. Dr. Hartley was the biological father. Miguel was not. Vanessa gave birth in December, a girl she named Isabella. Miguel did not attend the birth. He was not listed on the birth certificate. The court granted him a legal declaration of non-paternity in January. He was free of obligation. Free of the child. Free in the worst way. He moved back into our parents' house for 2 months. He did not talk much. He worked longer hours. He lost weight. I came every Sunday. We did not discuss Vanessa. We discussed his business, my work, the weather, the Spurs. We discussed everything except what had happened. Then in March, he asked me to help him find an apartment. He was ready to live alone again. He was ready to be a person. I want to tell you what this experience taught me, because I did not spend 18 months documenting and preparing just to have a story. I did it because my brother mattered more than my comfort, more than being liked, more than the easy path of looking away. Deception does not announce itself. It arrives beautifully, plans carefully, and makes you feel cruel for doubting. The people who use family as a tool rather than a treasure will always find a way to make their interests sound like love. They will talk about future, about intention, about what they deserve. Do not let them. Watch for the gaps between story and fact. Keep your own records. Trust the people who show up without performance and love without calculation. And if you find evidence that someone you love is being destroyed, do not wait for perfect timing. Create it. Protect what family actually means, even when the protection hurts. Vanessa tried to contact Miguel twice. The first time, She sent a letter through her attorney. She wanted to co-parent amicably. She wanted Miguel to meet Isabella. She said the child deserved to know the man who had been prepared to be her father. Miguel did not respond. The second time, she came to his apartment. I was there helping him hang shelves. She stood in the doorway with the baby in a carrier. She looked different. Smaller. Less perfect. Please, she said. Just once. Just so she can say she met you. Miguel looked at her for a long moment. Then he looked at the baby. Isabella was sleeping, her face peaceful, unaware of everything that had been done to create her and everything that had been destroyed. No, Miguel said. I am not her father. You made sure of that. You don't get to use me now for your conscience. He closed the door. He leaned against it. He did not cry. He just breathed. Was that wrong? He asked me. No, I said. That was honest. That was the first honest thing between you. Dr. Hartley lost his position at the hospital. An ethics investigation found he had violated professional boundaries, used hospital resources for personal purposes, and conspired to deceive a patient's family. His wife divorced him. He pays child support for Isabella now, though he sees her rarely. Vanessa moved back to Houston. She lives with her sister. She works at a different dental practice. She posts photos of Isabella on social media, beautiful and smiling, with captions about blessings and strength. She never mentions the truth. She never mentions my brother. She has become, in her own narrative, a single mother who overcame. The comments are supportive. The likes are numerous. The story she tells is not the story that happened. But stories belong to the people who survive them. I do not follow her. I do not check her profiles. I know what I know. That is enough. Miguel is different now. Not broken. Just rebuilt with different materials. He dates occasionally carefully. He talks about trust in ways he never did before. Yet, we are closer than we were before the shower. We do not need to explain ourselves to each other. We know what we survived together. My mother still knits. She makes blankets for the hospital's neonatal unit, for babies who need warmth from strangers. She never made anything for Isabella. That absence is its own statement. My father still works on cars. He talks about retiring. He talks about Miguel taking over the business someday, expanding, hiring, building something that lasts. We have Sunday dinners again. The kitchen is loud and warm and full. Vanessa's name is never spoken. The baby is never mentioned. We are a family that learned to close ranks around truth, even when truth was painful. I think about Isabella sometimes. She will be 2 years old soon. She will grow up with a story she did not choose. A mother who wanted her for reasons she will never understand. A biological father who cannot look at her without seeing his own destruction. And a man named Miguel who would have been her father, who prepared for her, who loved her before she existed, who let her go because love requires truth and truth was not available. I hope she finds her own truth someday. I hope she has someone like me, watching, waiting, ready to protect her from beautiful lies. That is what family means. Not blood. Not names on certificates. The willingness to see what is real and stand by it, even when standing costs you everything comfortable. I would do it again. I would do it tomorrow. I would do it forever for my brother. My name is Elena Vargas. I am 31 years old. I am a pediatric nurse in San Antonio, Texas. I help sick children get better. I help their families understand what is happening. I am good at seeing what is real beneath what people say. I learned that skill in a kitchen full of noise, in a truck full of silence, in a room full of balloons where I stood up and spoke truth into a carefully built lie. Vanessa planned that shower for 6 months. I prepared for it for 18. She wanted to celebrate a future she had stolen. I wanted to protect a brother who had protected me his whole life. She had the perfect decorations. I had the truth. In the end, that was enough. It was more than enough. If this story meant something to you, leave a 2 in the comments so I know you stayed with me through the whole thing. And if you know someone who needs to hear it, share it with them. Some messages find the people who need them. Please like, comment and share this story. Also hit that subscribe button and turn on notification so you don't miss a thing.